Go for it.
Okay. A warm welcome and thank you so much for joining us. And I know that we all don't need an introduction of each other, but I would still go ahead with it. So I'll first, introduce our guest Randy Kent. And we know him as a director, as an editor, as a videographer, and he has also received multiple awards as a producer, a director, and an editor in the commercial and film arena. And he has earned his reputation for the work he has created across every genre and many different countries, from his beginnings in the Atlanta comedy world to directing heavy dramas in India over a computer, shooting tight thrillers in the streets of Holland, making straight up horror in Buffalo and England, and then smaller, more experimental work he has done in hometown of Los Angeles. And I would like to move on to Mateen Hussain. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. He has been an actor, graduated from Anupam Kher Academy, won a reality show Dadagiri, and acted in Kannada movie Matte Mangaru. Randy was his friend from USA, and as Mateen is born and brought up in as a USA guy. Harish Kumar Sejekan, a gallerist, a painter, an art curator turned actor. And then our host and my mentor, Shekhar Vijayan. He's many things, but if there's one thing that describes him the most is the love that he has for his dog, his sunshine. And he's a motivational speaker, he's a stand-up comedian, and an exceptional writer as well. He's been part of many discussions on various news channels like NewsX, and he appears on those news channels like CNN, Republic TV, Times Now, on matters of geopolitical importance on leadership, politics, sports, environment, and entertainment. And now we can, have a kickstart to this event.
We just have one more person, Shri Crazy Minds, who is an editor, who has done some phenomenal work in Kannada cinema. He joined late.
Okay.
He's basically, he's done some fantastic editing work in the Kannada cinema industry. He's also there. Maybe you could say hi. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. So now we
Okay.
can proceed.
Thank you, Harish, and Krisha, thank you for this very warm and very inspirational opening note. Thank you so much. Now, for everybody who's joining on this call and to the larger audience who see this once the recording is done, this is a very interesting conversation. This is the 23rd episode of the Sfactor Show. This is the Fireside chat. We've had interesting luminaries joining us on the show: writers, actors, poets, directors. Police commissioners. So we are covered from all angles. So anything goes wrong, we know who to contact. I think it goes without saying. If I literally feel right now, this is like Dead Poet Society right now. This very interesting discussion. And on that Dead Poet Society note, which is a very inspirational movie, stars the wonderful Robin Williams. I wanted to ask, all three of you and everybody else here in this very interesting room, Randy, especially you, starting with you. Randy, I know you're a Taurian, right? And I don't see the bull anywhere right now, the invisible horns right now. But I want to ask you this, Randy. What really inspired you to actually make this move of making this movie through Skype? Because nowadays movies are all about storytelling. It's about artificial intelligence and movie making. I feel the director is the captain of the ship. Whether you agree or don't agree, the director is the person who leads everything. Yeah. He's the composer. He's the man who manages various symphonies because it's a very creative field. And directing is all about people management. How did you manage to do it through technology? How did you manage to do it through technology? Was it by accident or was it by chance?
On this particular front, you mean, how did I manage to do it over Skype? Very difficultly. That's not even a word, but no, it was fun. I mean, it was interesting because I'm a very hands-on director. I like to be on the set. I like to show the actors where, for blocking and all that. Because I was, all on the other side of the world in my bedroom, it was difficult to actually be able to pull that off. So for me, the challenge of that was actually being able to direct something where I can't be hands-on, I can't be on the set and actually show the actors what I want. So I had this really detailed shot list. It's every single scene, almost every single camera angle, of what I was kind of looking for. And then when I would get photos, when Matt or somebody from the team would send me photos of the location, I would then draw these like kind of blueprint diagrams on a piece of paper of like, okay, these actors here, maybe the camera here, blah, blah, blah. And then I would shoot them on my phone, WhatsApp, and I would WhatsApp at the team over there. So it was like, that was kind of the process that we figured out, but it was extremely challenging at first, but I think we sort of got into a good rhythm once we kind of figured out what we were doing. And then we had a great team. I had a great team over there or over here now. I had a great team who were able to kind of, we're really good at interpreting kind of what I was looking for. And if things didn't go right, obviously, I mean, you know, filmmaking is never an exact science. There were a couple of times where like the Wi-Fi wasn't that great. 'Cause you got to think about it, this was 8 years ago. The Wi-Fi wasn't great, so you know they would have the monitor set up in front of a laptop, and then that would be interpreted to me. But if they didn't have Wi-Fi, they would literally have to shoot the scene, record it on their phones from the monitor from the camera, then WhatsApp it to me. I would watch it, I would make notes, go back and do the same process over and over again. So sometimes it was kind of laborious, you know, with that process. But I hope I answered your question. I don't even know.
Absolutely. I think it goes without saying you're you believe in action more than really speaking a lot, and it shows here. Now on that action note, I have to ask Harish this question. Harish, I've known you for quite some time. You're a gallerist. You're an opinion maker. You have an opinion on a lot of things in the world, right? Around the politics around the country, thoughts and issues around the country, and you're also a gallerist, and you're sitting in a beautiful place right now in a very distinct part of Bangalore. But my question to you is, acting is another creative pursuit you have, right? Now, all these three follow a common thread: as an art gallery, as an opinion maker, now as an actor. So what led you to make this decision of being an actor? And then how was the experience for you? This is your first acting gig, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, the whole process was a very interesting one because, I mean, I had a lot of interest when I was a child, in terms of acting, because I used to play part in skits, and I did this play called Merchant of Venice in the Shakespeare play when I was in school. But this was completely out of the blue because me and Mateen, we met in a company, we never thought that, I mean, he met me in my gallery. And at that point, we met as friends, and, he was working in a TV channel and he was the head of the TV channel. And then, then randomly, we became good friends. We actually started working on a movie, which was, actually done by one of our friends. It didn't work out. But then we became closer, good buddies. And then Matt came up with this whole thing that, he knows Randy and we are planning to do a Hollywood directorial Kannada movie. And it took me a day to sink it in, for it to sink in, because for me, it was a completely new experience. Though I was excited, but I knew the challenges that came with it because I knew the kind of demands that a Hollywood director would have. But however, thanks to Matt, as we fondly called him, and Randy, there was a workshop that was organized by a very well-known, trainer in Bangalore, where we were all, basically trained the nuances of acting. Some of us, because I don't come from an acting background, and that really helped. And that was actually one of the reasons why most of the actors in the movie, they actually could portray their parts very well. It was a very, very amazing learning experience. And once the shoot started, it was a completely new world for me because we are shooting on Skype, and the time difference was quite a lot. But still, I not even a single day have I seen Randy. I mean, he was so focused, despite so many retakes that we did, and there were many, many retakes, multiple retakes. I still remember there was a shot, his eye for perfection was so much. There was a shot which took, I think, 5-6 hours, a single shot. That kind of showed his commitment, towards work. And Mateen has always been someone who's been a true artist in the sense that he loves his art, his acting. He takes his acting seriously, right? And even a single frame, even whatever was directed, he also had his own, he helped us a lot. When we were not doing well, he helped us, he encouraged us. So I think, for me, the experience was larger than life. And at that point, I didn't know, but now when I reflect back, I feel that it was a life-changing experience because there are so many, if I try to look at so many actors, they come to Bombay, they come with big dreams. How many people get a chance to act in a commercial cinema? Not many. And here I feel privileged enough and honored enough, and I thank thanks to God and all the well-wishers and good friends like Matt and Randy, that at least have acted in a movie which is a path-breaking cinema. We are officially the only movie which was directed on Skype, plus the only Kannada movie directed by Hollywood director. That it's in itself is a great thing. And I consider myself, very lucky, honored, and privileged. And the whole experience was, I mean, it's very tough to express in words, because what I faced and what I thought, at a point I thought that, how can I pull it off? But it eventually happened, and thanks to the cooperation by everyone, and and finally we are here doing interviews and shows, and the release date is next week. It'll take a little time to sink in. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you, Harish. You actually spoke for the entire crew. Now, Harish, and I think, like you said, acting is a very creative exercise. It's more teamwork than anything else. Now, moving on to Matt, right? I would like to call you Matt because that's what everybody calls you. Matt, tell me this. You have got a great friendship with Randy, and you know Harish quite well. And in India, they call it the J and Viru kind of friendship. It was a very popular movie called Sholay, which starred the superstar Amitabh Bachchan many summers ago. Now, Matt, from your perspective, there is friendship which you have with Randy, there's friendship which you have with Harish. How does that translate, when you are acting on screen and, you have a director who wants the best out of it? Technology plays a role, storytelling plays a role, and time difference plays a role, which can either work both ways, which can be very taxing also, it can be very unnerving also, it can be very engaging also. How did you just translate all that and try to make an impact on screen?
Well, me personally, when I get on the set, I think I'm so into my character that I don't know if somebody's my friend or not. So I'm totally involved in it, and yes, it was a lot easier, I think, because they were my friends on the set. It just, you don't have any awkwardness, right? When you know someone, especially the director. But still, that doesn't take away and make your job any easier. If you gotta act, you gotta act, and you gotta put your 100%, irrespective of who's directing, really. But working with somebody like Randy makes my job a lot easier because he has the clarity, he has the vision, and he knows exactly what he wants, and there's not much improvisation there. He knows what he wants, so that made my life a lot easier.
Lovely. Lovely. So, I wanted to ask, we've also got Sridhar here. Sridhar, you being the editor of this very interesting movie. Tell us about your experience editing a movie of this magnitude, a movie of this nature, and how was the experience like?
Hi again. It was fun working on this film. I didn't know Mateen before. Once I got into the film through a friend of mine, I met Mateen, and I was like shocked when they were shooting only through Skype, and how Randy used to manage, as he said, without proper Wi-Fi connections and things like that. So when I saw the footage, I was like surprised, if these guys could pull off such a, big project, it's not a short film, it's a feature length film.
Correct. Yeah.
Only through Skype and coordinating the whole thing. And sometimes, as you said, they had to record and play it back to him on Skype or send it to him through WhatsApp. And I had a couple of conversations with Randy, before I started editing. So it was fun. It was fun, when a director is sitting far away in a different time zone, and it's I can't believe that it happened. So after the whole edit was done, the whole thing was sent to Randy, and he had to make, he did his touch and did some corrections on that, and the final out, we are going to say it on 23rd. And regarding Mateen, I was shocked over and over again, because the kind of things he has done in this project, not only acting, his written lyrics, his written dialogues, his contribution, is a lot in this film. And he's also part of the production team. So, and Harish, I had not met him personally, only recently I met him during the press meet. He has done a good job as an actor, and doesn't look like he has acted for the first time. He has faced the camera first time. It's fun. It's fun.
Harish is a bona fide star. Look at the way he's sitting. It's like he's sitting like Al Pacino in Scarface.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Thanks.
So, I have to, on that Al Pacino note and Scarface note, I have to ask all of you this question. The reason why we're having this discussion is because this movie is interesting. If you have to give one word, just one word why people should watch this movie, starting with Sridhar, one word, why everybody should watch this very interesting movie, what should it be? One word.
It's realistic, it's based on a real incident, and it's realistic. It's come out very natural, very realistic approach to the entire story. So a lot of people would relate to it, when they watch the film. A lot of people might have gone through such situations. So in one word, it's realistic.
Superb. Matt, what about you?
Touching. It's touching. So I think emotionally, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's artwork at play if you see the direction. I mean, no disrespect to anyone, but the kind of the way every shot has been taken care of, it looks more like an artwork. Being an art curator, I could say that. And of course, the storyline and how it keeps you gripping. I think that's one of the main reasons. I think those are the two main reasons for any movie to be successful. I think it's mainly the storyline and how well articulated it is. I think we have both.
Absolutely.
We're quite confident that it should touch everyone out there.
Matt, what about Randy? Randy, what about you?
Come see it. It's about love. Preeti. It's about love. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
It's about love. A love of family, a love of your spouse, a love of your brother, your father, girlfriend, but also for us, for me, it's a love of filmmaking. It's a love of the art and what we do. I mean, look at what we accomplished. Look at how we accomplished it. I mean, 8 years, that's unheard of. It's taken us 8 years and we're here right now. So it's a love of the process. And I think that's the bottom line. It's that word. It's about love, whether that's good or bad love. It's a love. So come see it.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, very interesting because that's exactly what I wanted to know from all of you. And I think somewhere I think this movie is not just about love. It's not just about emotions. It's not just about passion. I think it's also about storytelling along with technology. And I think this could be the future. I really believe this could be the future of filmmaking, with production timelines, with the economy in place. I think this will happen sooner or later, where you might have, the director sitting in any part of the world. Who knows, your next film, you could be sitting in some nondescript part of Hawaii, and you would be directing a movie in the Sahara Desert.
From your lips to God's ears. I'd love to be sitting in Hawaii directing a movie. But I don't honestly, I don't know if unless the circumstances came up, I honestly don't know if I would do it again, just because it was, just like I talked about, it's like I'm a very hands-on director. And again, this was 8 years ago. I've learned so much even as a director now that I don't know if I would actually be able to, I don't know if I could do it again, to be honest with you. I mean, I've kind of done it, unless I had to, but I don't think I would do it again. I mean, of course, if Marvel calls me and says, hey, direct a movie over Skype, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I'll be the first one in line. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I said this to Matt. I think the film is much better because I did have to direct it over Skype.
Okay, now that he said now that you just mentioned, Randy just mentioned Marvel, I have a question for all of you. Very quickly, just tell me, if you had to spend the rest of your life, as one movie character or even one TV character, who would that be? Like, if I had to go, I would say Michael.
No, I think it's
sorry.
One TV.
No,
it could be anything. It could be
within a movie or any character which we like.
Any character. We are all in this because we love movies, right? So any character.
Rambo.
There you go, Rambo.
Wow.
Batman. Batman. No, Superman.
Okay.
Sorry, he can fly.
Superman. Without the kryptonite.
Yeah.
I would go for an Iron Man.
Iron Man.
I can fly where I want.
Yeah.
And the money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a money guy. Yeah.
What about you? What about you, Srini?
I would play myself because I've had the best of things in my life. I've played different roles. I've acted. I've been a cinematographer. I've been an editor. I love my own role myself. So
Okay.
I don't have to play some other character.
Lovely. Krisha, what about you?
I would probably a Marvel character too, because
You'll
I'm
probably
a
be a
huge
Marvel
Marvel
character. Who
fan.
wouldn't
So
be?
yeah.
You're a truly Marvel fan. Fine. Superb. So I think we've got another, 3 minutes to go. Krisha, how many minutes to go for this conversation to end? And then we just
Four
we
minutes.
just do a countdown and then we finish. Yeah, the recording gets over. I want to ask each one of you, when when you were acting or when you were a part of this entire creative exercise, it can be a day when things may not go right, things may not go wrong. Was there a motto or was there a song which you used to live by? Where you say you don't, like the Joker says, right? Like what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger or even stranger. So was there something which all of you had some kind of motto? Like for example, Harish, did you have a motto when things didn't go right, when things went really well also while acting? Was there a
I
motto
think
which you had?
please repeat it
Was
once again.
Yeah. What I wanted to say is the Joker, like we spoke about Batman a few minutes back. There's a Joker who always believes that what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger or stranger. That's what I keep telling, right? In the same way, Harish, for you when you were acting in this movie, must have been good days, there must have been bad days, there must have been something which really you used to pump yourself up. Was there a song which you used? Was there a dialogue you used? Was there a motto you had? Was there a quote which you used to pump yourself up, or was it just pure passionate play?
Well, there were a couple of quotes which are quite relatable as to how things went. One was never say never and die another day. Yeah, because, I don't think had this not happened, thanks to, again, I'm really grateful for Andy and Mateen. I don't know if I would have ever donned this hat of, being an actor. And, despite my own negatives in terms of, I can't say negatives, but, since I was not exposed to the commercial acting, I tried my best to work on it. And, so I think these two terms are quite relatable because that's what I used at that point, because I knew that this was at that point, my only, shot at acting. So, and that's a fairly prominent or important character, I could say. And, thanks to Matt for considering me for the role. Yeah.
Super.
I always used to tell my team, it's like in Hindi, I used to tell them really, कि हम वो नहीं है जो जमीन खोदकर पानी ढूंढते हैं, हम वो हैं जो आसमान फाड़ कर बरसात करवाते हैं. So,
Lovely.
Yeah, so that was my motive.
Randy, welcome to India. Welcome to India.
I had no
That's the
idea what
Indian
it
welcome.
sounded good. Yeah.
Exactly. When you don't know what it's in, you just nod your head, Indian style. India, we do that. We just nod our head when it goes right.
I know. And that's one thing I did notice on the set. That was one. I mean, aside from a lot of things like cultural differences, just like the way that the head nods too, and something I got used to. And the dubbing too, like that threw me too. I remember at one time we were just on set. I think there was we were shooting maybe at the house or something, and it was really loud because there was a generator. And I just pulled Matt aside on the computer. It's like, how's the sound guy? What does he think about what's going on? And he told me, no, there's no sound guy. It's all dubbing. It's all dub. And it just kind of didn't think about it. It blew my mind. It's like, okay, that makes sense, But it was just like one of those things I learned just that in the process of doing it. But I think my motto would be, don't worry, every little thing's going to be all right, because,
I like
been
that.
making films a long time. Been making films a long time. It's like, yeah, you get stressed out and you want it to be perfect. And I'm a perfectionist, but in the end, I know that as long as we get what we need, I know it's going to kind of work out. I know I can make it work in the edit as long as we get everything that we need for the scene. So, but that's something you learn the more you do it,
Super. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful conversation. We covered everything what we can in the last 30 minutes. It was sharp. It was very passionate, and it also gave people an idea of what this movie is about. We didn't tell anything a lot about the movie because they need to see the movie on 24th when your premiere comes out. I think that's the idea. It was nice to connect with all of you, Harish, Randy, and Matt, and Sridhar. And thank you, Krisha. Thank you, Tinu, for joining us. And
thank you so
we'll
much.
share a recording with you. And